So, welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. Another week has come and gone, and we are gathered once again in person in Osborne.
In person!
In person!
In person!
We're recording a little bit later, so hopefully this doesn't affect our upload time, and I will apologize. We'll do a quick public service announcement for everybody once we're done our intro. We are two sisters who do a knitting podcast. I say sisters. We're sisters in fibre. We're friends. We date brothers.
It's close enough.
Close enough. We're coming to you from Winnipeg, Manitoba, in the Canada, of which we've officially reached fall. The temperatures are cooler.
Very much
We
so.
can begin to wear our knits, because it is no longer 30 degrees with a humidity check outside anymore.
No, it is downright frosty in the morning.
It's beautiful. This is my time of year. I'm
Mine
very
too.
excited. It's almost snow season. Please do not hate me.
I like it because it's layer season, and I have a lot of big flappy layers.
Absolutely. But this week, hopefully, we are going to cover what, Diana?
We're going to cover what's in our cup, cool threads, woolly workings, yarn on the go, wool gathering, events, and a review. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's it.
All right.
Well, we'll do our quick public service announcements. Do not get an inner ear infection.
No, that's bad.
Oh my gosh. You guys, we're recording late because I've been on some antibiotics for an inner ear infection. Ow. Ow. Ow.
There has been much ow.
Ow. So if you hear me randomly go ow, that's because my ear is twinging because I'm currently trying to kick out an infection with antibiotics. I saw the doctor. The doctor said, nice job, which means it's a good one. I have very expensive penicillin, proving that I need some help, but it has sort of slowed us down. I'm sitting here super attractively with cotton shoved in one ear to balance the ear pressure out.
Yep.
I have to look great.
So it's a good look for you.
Oh my gosh. Whatever, it's fine. It happens. But can I not recommend it?
Bad idea.
I understand why small children scream all the time when they have inner ear infections. Holy Hannah.
Yeah.
I think I called my mom the first night and I was like, I want my mommy to make it stop. Make it stop now. She's like, I can't do that for you, but I can try to help get you through tonight. I'm like, make it go away. I'm 34 years old and I called my mommy. This was not okay.
That's rough.
Yeah, my dad's been on standby. He takes his cell phone to the bedroom at night in case I have a bad night so I can call his cell phone because he'll wake up. My mom won't. She'll sleep right through her phone going off. I haven't had to call again, but oh man, I will be so happy when I am done with this. And of course, Reds is like, one of the girls in our I guess it's a craft club is really what it is.
Hmm.
And she's like, I get them from time to time. I'm like, how do you function? I've got to be the biggest baby on the face of the planet. Like, I've been home for half a week. I don't want to do anything. It's the first time I've been out of pajamas since Sunday. I think I'm just a hot mess. Oh well. That's my life right now, guys. In case you really felt like you needed to know.
So don't get an ear infection.
Don't get an ear infection unless you really want to live life dangerously and knit while you're on so many pain medications you're not entirely sure what your name is.
Sounds like fun.
My life has been very, very small and filled with tiny goals this week. Just fun. Shall we discuss what's in our cup?
Yes, we went and got epic desserts from down the street at Chocoberry.
I'd never been.
I've only been a few times because aside from being epic desserts, they're also kind of expensive desserts, so they don't happen very often.
I'm going to save the two places where we've gone for desserts in the village now. I'm going to vote for this place consistently. I don't mind paying more if it's a higher quality dessert. And this is a nice dessert. It's rich without being super sweet. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And they have a wonderful selection of stuff. So I'm super game to do that over, what's that other place we've gone to?
Baked Expectations?
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Baked Expectations.
It's alright.
Again, if you live in Winnipeg, please don't at me. Don't throw me hate. I know it's weird to not like Baked Expectations. I'm aware of this. There's a bunch of other places that are in the city that are the cafes and the sort of dessert places that I love a lot more than Baked Expectations. So it's not that it's bad, but there's other places that I'd rather go.
I would tend to agree with you. The cakes are visually the most impressive I've seen at Baked Expectations.
Visually it looks stunning.
But taste-wise, they're good cake.
Mm-hmm.
But there's better cake.
Nothing to write home about. Whereas I want to take Mom back to get these hot chocolates that we're currently drinking.
Yeah. What kind of hot chocolate did you finally settle on?
I
the menu of like
on the
12?
vanilla one.
The vanilla one.
Yeah, so I have a vanilla hot chocolate, which is made with white hot chocolate instead of dark hot chocolate or milk hot chocolate, which is decidedly different. But I grew up eating white chocolate instead of milk chocolate or dark chocolate. So for me, it's definitely a nostalgia kick.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I am currently drinking a cinnamon dark hot chocolate, and there was so much whipped cream on top, it was like dribbling down the side. It was a great mess trying to get the lid on.
Oh, we were a hot mess trying to do all these
awesome.
things tonight. It was amazing.
It's fantastic. Poor girl behind the counter is like, I'm sorry, I put too much on. No, this is perfect. This is great.
When you have to lick off the whipped cream before you can put the lid on your hot chocolate.
It's the right amount of whipped cream.
It's the right amount of whipped cream. This was perfect. It's absolutely wonderful. I was very enjoyed it. It was my first trip. I also have a chocolate almond croissant, or an almond chocolate croissant to eat.
I have some kind of their in-house made chocoberry tart,
Mmm.
which I'm pretty sure is just fudge with a chewy chocolate crust bottom with chocolate drizzled on top, and it had strawberries, but I ate those already.
I think we have to take my mom in when she's in town, and we have to get hot chocolates and syringes of chocolate.
Yes.
We need to get a shot of chocolate into our mouth via a syringe.
Yes.
My mom will be all over that like white on rice. She will be so game to go do that.
I haven't tried it, but it looks like fun.
If we take my mom, she'll pay.
Awesome. They also do fondue. They have like this whole first date platter.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen people get it. It looks absolutely adorable. They bring you this giant fruit plate and this little fondue thing, and like you can have an entire first date fruit fondue there.
We're not dating. Can we do the first date fruit fondue? Can this be a thing?
Sure.
We'll even pose for the cheesy romantic photos. I don't care. Can we do the fruit fondue?
Absolutely.
This is a plan. We got a date. Tell your fiancé, my boyfriend will be fine with it. He's not a sweet eater, so he will gladly let you take the bullet on that one.
Fruit and chocolate? I fail to see how this is bad.
Oh my god, it sounds like such a good idea. Oh, I love it. Okay.
Especially since you don't like strawberries, so all the strawberries are mine.
All the strawberries are yours. I do not like strawberries. Please,
all the strawberries are mine.
Don't send me hate mail. I know. It is weird because I eat all other types of berries. I enjoy it. You open up my freezer to look at my frozen fruits for my smoothies and stuff in the mid-morning. I have blackberries, blueberries, currants, cherries, raspberries. Any other type of fruit is fine. I just don't like strawberries. Which
You're
seems
weird.
I am weird. It's fine. But yeah, that's what's in our cup today and our desserts for later once we're done podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting. A wonderful treat.
I'm so sugared up right now.
Good. Then we can podcast.
Yeah.
My painkillers will kick in shortly and then I won't be quite so pain-filled too.
So with this lovely cooler weather, what cool threads have you been wearing?
I haven't left my house in like 5 days.
Well, there was a few days before that, between podcasting and getting sick.
I've been wearing my extra large textured triangle shawl while lounging around in my pajamas in my basement suite because it's nice and cool and I've had the window open. So I've literally been wandering around in something that is long enough. When I lie down on the couch, I can drape it over me like a blanket.
It's an amazing shawl.
I'm so in love with it, and it's just perfect. It's got a lot of air and movement to it and drape to it, and it just, when it sits, I can knit, I can do stuff, I can read. In this case, I can play video games.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine, it works great. So a lot of that, and a little bit of bendy arrow when I have been getting out of the house. I've had the bendy arrow on me. It got hot chocolate whipped cream on it tonight.
Yes, it did.
I'm a classy woman. What have you been wearing?
I have been wearing a lot of my giant alpaca cowl. Because I discovered it's a very nice thing to just have around my neck at work.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. It matches my outfit slightly better than my rainbow side shawl, which I have not actually worn this week.
Oh my.
I like it better, but the cowl just goes with more things and looks slightly classier in an office environment.
That's fair.
I have also been wearing my Lindsay slouch.
Ooh.
And my sockhead hat.
You know, we're gonna have to start finishing some hats that I can wear in the fall. Some, like, fingering weight ones. I got me a mighty collection of worsted weight ones. We're not quite that cold yet.
Fingering weight hats are really nice for, like, when it's just a little bit too cool inside in the fall because they haven't turned the heat on yet, but you don't need, like, a whole toque.
I don't know, I run warm, so I generally don't do toques till January.
Yeah, well, you're weird.
I am actually. In fact, the ladies at Woolsey Wool today confirmed that I'm weird.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, well that's gonna be my mantra for the episode.
I'm weird?
Yep.
Might actually end up being the show title, for honest. On the bright side, that wraps up our cool threads, and we can mosey right along into woolly workings.
I have very few workings, for I've been doing most workings on one thing.
For returning listeners, don't worry, we will get off track eventually.
Didn't we do that once already?
Oh, this is for us. Very succinct and on topic. You have 2 items?
I have 2 items.
I have more than 2.
As per usual.
Shortly, that might actually change, because I gotta buckle down and do some stuff. Because I got some deadlines coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I suppose I should start. It should come as no shock or surprise to anyone that I'm still working on 365 days worth of granny squares.
Oh boy, I'll be really glad when I can stop copying and pasting that for the show notes.
December 31st is my last day. And I'm not going to lie, I may walk away for a month or 2 before I post photos in the Ravelry project page, because at that point, I'm going to want a break.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing keeping me going at this point is that, no, I'm not stopping 3 months shy of the finish line. Mm-mm.
The end is in sight. There's
The end is in sight, yep.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm finishing it. There's no way I'm saying, oh, I made it to October and then I stopped. No. No. That's not okay for me. If you have never listened to a podcast from us before, I'll very quickly go over the deets for that. I'm doing it out of Red Heart Soft Yarn, and I am following a YouTuber, Yarn Utopia, and her video collection that she did for it.
Mm-hmm.
She has some amazing patterns. I sometimes deviate.
Well, what's a pattern but a suggestion?
Pretty much. And I'm a massive Halloween fan, and I've been sort of caching the Halloween granny squares. So I need to take a trip to Michael's to buy the Halloween colored yarn.
Right.
And I need to be making me some Halloween. So I think October might be exclusively Halloween themed squares, because huge Halloween fan sitting here in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, so excited. Halloween! Okay. I'll throw another thing in there that I've been working on. The Zadie Sweater. It was a boxy sweater knit along done by Craftsy and the Grocery Girls. I wasn't able to participate in the time frame for the knit along, which was fine. I wasn't sure if I'd make it or not. But I definitely wanted to do the project. So it is currently on my needles. I'm working on the body. And I'm doing that on a Cloud-Born fibre yarn from Craftsy. And I'm really enjoying the knit. I mean, it's nothing fancy. I'm literally doing stockinette.
It looks so good, though.
In the round, so it is just miles and miles and miles of knitting, which is perfect when you don't feel well, because you really can't focus on complicated knitting anyway. So it's good. I'm almost into my second ball. It's been a sort of a pickup project when I can, but it hasn't been my sole focus, so I haven't made any sort of stellar progress on it, but perfect for knit nights, perfect for recording, sort of puttering around and going to doctor's appointments and stuff, because I can pick it up and put it down in a heartbeat.
Yep.
So.
It looks so good, that yarn. I want so much of that yarn.
Then I will be ordering another sweater's quantity in the Cloud-Born yarn. It is so nice to work with. It's absolutely wonderful.
When I finally get around to making a sweater, I will seriously consider that as an option.
Again, teaser for Yarn on the Go. Gotta go back to Wolseley. All their sweater yarn is in. Ooh. I know. I want to make sweaters this year. I'm really enjoying garment production. So, yeah. I'm going full tilt. We're making sweaters and cardigans. And I'm only making one sweater for my niece. She says, knowing full well she's lying. There'll be more.
I thought that sounded like a lie.
Oh my god, it was such a lie.
There's only one planned for now.
It's a fingering weight one, so I think that's good. I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I figure I might just start it the 1st of December when the Grinch Long starts, because it's not for Christmas or her birthday or anything. I'm just making her a sweater, so there's no deadline on it, and those bright, cheerful colors will be perfect.
Yes.
Around Christmas time to just sort of...
So cheerful.
So cheerful and just...
The cheerfulest. You will be cheerful.
I will be so... And, well, man, you're just sitting in here tucked into your chair and working on that, and you've got your Christmas tree up and your lights going and some hot cocoa and some fresh baking. Like, isn't that seem perfect to you?
Can I have that right now?
Sure. We got the hot cocoa. I don't know where your little tree is, but we could pull it out and really freak out your fiancé when he comes home from his trip.
Have the Christmas tree up before Halloween.
Yeah, he'll be like, what? It's your turn. I know I've got more, but you gotta do some talking in here too, my dear.
Oh, I get a turn? You mean didn't knit like 30 trillion things to my 2?
I only have 2 more things.
Okay. Well, I've been continuing work on my wedding shawl.
Mm-hmm.
I got the new stitch markers on it that I got at the Fibre Festival last weekend? The weekend before last.
Weekend before last.
I'll-
That's the, what's it called? Your shawl. It's the
Even Star Shawl
That's it.
by Susan Pandorf.
Woo.
It is a lace weight shawl in a lace pattern. And it'll be approximately 5 feet in diameter when it's done.
It's going to be its diameter will be my niece's height.
Its diameter will be nearly my height.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
You have got so much work to do on that.
Well, final dimensions pending on how stretchy it is when it blocks.
Okay.
To that end, can I borrow your blocking mats when I have to do this? Because I
Yes.
don't have enough blocking mats for that.
Not even close. You're going to have to borrow all of mine plus use yours, and we might actually have to increase your supply a little.
Yep.
At 5 feet, we're taking over the whole living room to block this bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
But I will certainly come help you wash it and block it, because that is not a one-person job.
Mm-mm.
That is a 2-person job.
It's going to be so much pinning.
Oh my gosh. I'll bring my T-pins, too.
Yeah. Chris has been stealing mine to glue little Warhammer heads to so we can paint them.
Oh, jeez.
So I've lost about 20% of my pins to Warhammer modeling.
Has he offered to replace those pins?
No.
I think he probably should.
Maybe.
Yeah. Boys.
Other thing that I've been working on, I've been doing a great deal of work on the Wonder Woman shawl.
Woohoo!
I am on to the gold W already.
Oh, I gotta catch up with you.
I did the entire inner red triangle at Knit Club.
That's right, you were working on it hardcore.
I'm so pleased with how much progress I made at Knit Club.
Oh, you made a lot of progress. Like, you did really good. No, I mean, Knit Club ran until 11:30.
Knit Club went super late, but everybody was like, you can finish it, just like one more row.
Yep.
Oops.
Yep.
Sorry, that was the tart container making noise.
That's okay. We were also, Misty was finishing up her spinning and flying of her yarns. Yeah.
Everybody was peer pressuring everybody else
Into finishing stuff, yeah.
Just finish this one thing.
Yeah, which was totally fine.
Yeah.
I
Much
am
progress was made.
as well working on my Wonder Woman wrap. I have not made it as far because I did not like how my first section looked once I was done it, so I ripped it out and started it again. Not a fiber flop, I didn't like the look of it, so I pulled it apart and I did it again, and I like it a lot better the second time around. So I'm on to section 2. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, which is the bonus.
Oh yes, by Carissa Browning.
Mm-hmm. We're doing it out of the same yarns.
Right, yes.
We're going to have matching shawls.
Matchy matchy.
Yeah.
Manos del Uruguay Alegria.
Yep. Or as I pronounce it, Algria.
In Carmine.
Mm-hmm.
And Manos del Uruguay Filigree. No. Manos del Fino.
Yeah.
Fino in filigree colorway.
Yeah. There's a picture on our Instagram page. If you guys haven't gone to check it out, I took a picture of the 2 colors caked and posted it on the Instagram for the group podcast.
Good.
So everybody could see the colors.
Excellent, because I have not done that.
Yeah,
and
I
I've
was
already
like,
started knitting.
That needs to happen, so I did that post-haste. The only other thing I have been working on, because What is a knitting podcast without a crochet project?
Exactly.
I ask you this. I watch YouTube. There's a shocker. And I ran across a pattern for an autumn fall-colored feather and fan crocheted wrap.
Oh, that video, yeah.
Yeah, so I loved it. I loved the product that this lady made. So I was watching it. So I am currently making it. I'm in the first color, which, not a shock. I'm going to do it in 4 different colors. It's in a cool... I'm doing it in the Bernay Premium. Again, just in case my mom decides she likes it. And I find, especially with outerwear, bulkier scarves, I prefer an acrylic or an acrylic wool blend because I'm harder on those pieces of clothing. So I like being able to throw it in the washing machine and throw it in the dryer and not have it felt because I get a lot of gunk on my scarves and on my coats and stuff. Well, I'm out walking all the time, so I get a lot of the city dirt and exhaust fumes and stuff trapped in there. So I really like being able to be a bit harder wearing with those items, which I certainly would not be with a full wool. I'd be a little more selective on it. It wouldn't be going with me every week to F&M.
Makes sense.
It would go with me to the orchestra and the symphony and stuff. Like, it would go to different events. So I need that multi-purpose every day. If my niece has a cold, it doesn't matter if I'm taking it off my neck to wrap it around her head. Because we're mid-walk or something. You know, it'll survive small children, pets, sort of hardiness I'm looking for.
All the dangers of life.
Dangers of my life, anyway. And which sounds silly, because I have a white coat. I've had a white coat for 4 years. It's a wool, double-breasted white coat, and it's still white 4 years later. So, I feel like it might be a little... but it's fine. I like Bernay Premium yarn. I really don't feel like I need to justify my enjoyment of acrylics. And I'm doing it out of a... sort of a... I want to say it's a dry mustard color. Because that yellow is really like a pale dry mustard. If you cook, you know what dry mustard looks like.
If you have mustard, you know what dry mustard
looks like. Yeah.
That stuff in the cap that flakes off every time.
Yes.
No matter how well you clean the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking dry mustard in the container. But sure, yeah, it's the same color.
Oh, I'm going for the mess. But yeah, you're going for like dry ground mustard.
Yeah, dry ground mustard. So I have that color, and then I've got a light shade of, medium light shade of blue, a dark shade of blue, and a shade of gray. And then I'm going to do the picot edge trimming in probably a black or a navy blue.
That looks so nice.
So it'll look really nice and sharp. But I've been teaching myself to feather fan in crochet, which has been quite delightful. I'm making it big enough for me. So the lady on the YouTube video, which you can watch, had made hers 177 stitches long. I ended up going into the 200s so that it would be a blanket scarf size on me. So this is a massive project. Just fine, no deadline. I'm just making it for fun.
That did seem to be a very long chain at Knit Club.
Oh, it's a long
rope
chain.
Over there? Or?
Yeah. Or, pretend to hang myself at this point because it's only 2 rows. It's a very decorative rope, I guess. But that's what I've been working on.
All right.
I'm with you.
You sure? I'm not sure I'm with me.
You said all right, so I'm sitting here ready to go. What's next?
Next up, we have Yarn on the Go.
To nobody's shock, awe, wonder, and or surprise, I went yarn shopping this week. It's becoming a thing.
You went yarn shopping?
Oh, just wait. On the 6th of October, my yarn shopping skills are so good, my mom's going to show up at a farmer's market in Saskatoon and buy yarn for me.
You have remote yarn shopping skills.
Woot! Next level yarn shopper right here in the corner.
That's skills with a Z over there.
Super skilled. I have no idea what she's getting me. She knows what my favorite colors are. And she knows I can't knit and lace. I said otherwise everything else is approachable and going. I'm like, if you sit there and go, I like this, but I think it would look good in something like this. Mom's like, oh yeah. I'm like, because you can do that. She's like, yeah. Like, the ladies at the booth will tell you if I need another skein of it or not to complete a project. Oh, okay. Like, worst case scenario, you come home with 1 or 2 random pretty skeins of yarn, I will find a use for them.
Oh, yes.
It will happen. This is not a problem, Mother. So, I will technically have yarn acquisition that I can't talk about till after my sister's wedding, because I won't get it till just before my sister's wedding when my parents get in town. It's a thing. Today, however, my sister and I and my niece went down to Wolseley Wool.
And bought pretty yarn.
And we bought some yarns. Now.
I'm coveting this yarn.
It's a really nice sock, minis.
Can you feel my coveting from over here?
I certainly can. I don't even have to look to know what's happening. If everybody remembers from last week, I talked about how I'm going to, super long-winded story, how I'm going to do the Speckle and Pop Mystery Knit-Along with Stephen West for his MCAL 2017. So I have the 3 main skeins, and I brought them with me because obviously we went shopping today. And I will post a picture and start the project so you guys can see these colors. But I have an Algria. I know that's not how it's pronounced. I just really like saying it. Oh, this is the one I can't read because it's handwritten. It's in a Manas de Uruguay, and it's a fingering weight yarn. The colorway is called...
Colibri?
Sure.
Colibri? Colibri? Colibri.
All I know for sure is it counts as my dark skein.
It's so pretty.
Because it is wonderfully rich colored in its tones. And it's going to be my dark colorway for my Stephen West knit-along. Then I'm going to use from Dye For You, which I picked up at the Manitoba Fibre Festival, the Summer Breeze Makes Me Feel Fine, and the Crocuses in the Snow for my light and medium. They're all in nice, rich, cool jewel tone colors, or to the whites, with a little bit of speckle. Not as much speckle as he was really recommending, but that's okay. It's Stephen West, so I can play with the colors, right?
Yes.
If there's anybody I should be able to play with colors with, it's Stephen West.
Definitely Stephen West.
So those are my 3 main skeins. And oh man, Manos de Uruguay. I am in love with their yarns. I've yet to knit with or touch a type of Manos de Uruguay yarn and not love it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is totally fair because I'm the same way with Ancient Art yarns. Oh, a lot of yarn actually, if I think about it. So we had to go get some mini skeins. So there wasn't a lot of options. I'm going to be honest, I would have loved to have had more options, but I know how much of a pain in the butt minis can be.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really blame people for not wanting to do a lot of them. That makes sense?
Yep.
So I ended up going with the Hedgehog Fiber Sock Minis because I just had the most selection in that colorway, in those colors. And I ended up picking up 5 colors. So I've been describing blues and grays and cool tones, so obviously I had to pick up a red.
Yep.
And it's called Merlot.
Ah.
And then to go with the blues and stuff, because I really want that red to really be one of the strong color pops, I picked up a Glacier, which is a nice light blue, which goes with the blues. Then we had to get some dark colors, because if there's any time for me to experiment with dark colors, it's when it's a small portion of a pattern.
Right.
Because that way if I have trouble, it's not the end of the world. I picked up a Graphite.
Also a very nice color.
Which is a very nice color. I would say it's a deep gray.
Yep.
It's got a little bit of a kettle look to the dye. But I really like it, so we grabbed that one. We grabbed the green. I'm going to have to hope that the green and the red don't touch because they're very Christmassy on their own. Yeah, but that's fine. The green is Hunter. It's a Hunter green.
Okay.
It's a nice, deep, rich green.
It's a really pretty green.
It's like a foresty green. I really like it.
I want to steal that green.
Yep, and then to round it out, I just grabbed another Graphite. That way I've got some strong neutral popping up every once in a while.
They look so good.
So I will get a...
So good.
I will get a picture, an artful picture of the yarn posted before the podcast goes up, because the first clue goes live this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time we podcast again, my first clue should be done. I have a very tight knitting schedule, folks. Gotta keep to it.
Good luck with that.
All audiobooks in the month of October. It's the only way I'm going to get my book reviewing in. But I'll get the picture up so everybody can see them. I won't post spoiler photos till the end of the project. I'll take them, but I won't post them till the end of the project, because some people don't like spoiler photos, so I'll post those in threads that are spoiler threads on Ravelry, but not on the project page itself. But I will be making notes and updating the progress of the project as it goes. So I will have that wrapped up at the end of October, and I will have the Wonder Woman shawl done at the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 fingering weight shawls in 6 weeks, folks.
You're crazy.
Oh, I think we're going with "You're weird."
I thought about it. It didn't quite work.
You're off your rocker. Yeah, that'd be right.
So,
But that was my yarn on the go. My niece wasn't any help.
No?
It might have been a mistake to buy her cake first.
Oh, you did that first?
Well, yeah, because I
That was a
wanted to make sure I got
terrible
a brownie. The brownie supplies at Tallgrass Prairie become low at the end of the day. I had to secure a brownie.
Yes, but allowing the 10-year-old to have sugar before shopping was a terrible idea.
That was her mom's call. I was just
Terrible
the procurer
oversight.
of the sugar. The distribution of the sugar was entirely in the mom's department. And Mom said she could, so she was in the corner on the floor in the front window. Nobody existed for her because she had her cake and her tablet. Well, we could have shopped for another hour and a half. She would have been fine.
All right. So I didn't go anywhere for yarn. My yarn goed to me.
Came to you?
It goed. You know what? It has to work with the segment title. It goed.
It goed to you?
It goed. This is the third shipment of the Strickmick Yarn Club.
Okay.
Which is, you get an amount of glorious hand-dyed yarn from somewhere in Europe, and an exclusive pattern by Martina Baim.
Oh, so pretty. Every project and every skein set of yarn you've gotten have been absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. So this pattern is... Can I give a spoiler? I think I can give a little bit of spoileriness.
Well, yeah, because you can
Everybody's
see
got
the
cast on date's passed at this point.
Well,
so.
yeah, everybody will have it, and if they don't, they'll be buying the pattern if they like it later. So
This time round's pattern is a cowl. I don't normally go for cowls, but I really like this cowl, and the yarn is a gradient, and it's already wound into a cake. I don't have to wind this one. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, I don't have to bring over my ball winder and Swift for you.
Yeah. So it's a gradient from a kind of a purpley pink through green, and then out to a dark blue.
It's going to look beautiful when it's knit in a cowl. I think you're going to find
So good.
the cowl pattern itself is quite
So-
beautiful and delicate. Like, it's very girly.
And it's a super simple knit.
Mhm.
It's
It's you is what it is.
I love Martina Baim's patterns because the knitting is super simple, but you do like these one or two super clever things, and it does something something magical. So this is just super simple garter stitch, and it makes this gorgeous cowl, and I'm so excited to cast this on, and I am out of needles, and I need to finish stuff.
Well, my dear.
When I finish the Wonder Woman, I will have needles free, and I'll cast this on.
Oh, I will definitely be giggling if you haven't finished the Wonder Woman by...
No, I want to
C4.
wear that by C4. I am so determined. I've been knitting on that at lunch at work.
Oh, yeah, you're
I am
super
determined.
Yeah. Which is awesome. It's nice to see you inspired by your yarn. Ha-ha!
I'm
want
very
it done.
motivated by this project.
Absolutely.
Normally I'm inspired by like a combination of the yarn and project, or just like I want to do this kind of knitting right now is normally my inspiration for wanting to knit. This is purely project. Like, yes, the yarn is gorgeous, but I want that shawl.
Bingo. Perfect. I think it's good. Well, no, it'll be good, and then you can start your Strickmick when you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be great. And it can be your present to yourself at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Though, we're almost done the year, so I suppose we should take a look to see if we're going to do yarn boxes from other companies next year.
Mm.
Since the one I tried this year was an epic fail.
Yeah.
That's
a shame.
That was a shame, so that's
Yeah.
a thing that happened.
Mine coming all the way from Germany has been fine.
Yeah, which is absolutely mind-boggling, but maybe we should look at some Canadian yarn boxes this year.
I think Dragonfly Fiber, don't quote me on this, but I think Dragonfly Fibers might do one, and I believe they're Canadian.
You have no idea how tempted I was to get in on the pre-orders for the Advent calendar out of River City Yarns.
Oh, man. Yarn advent calendars?
Yeah.
Not this year, but...
No, next year maybe.
But maybe next year.
Not this year, but maybe next year I might have to do that, because...
I need to work through some stash before I can justify a yarn advent calendar.
If anybody follows us on Instagram, they just realize I just made a stash center for myself. So I clearly don't have any problem adding stash to my repertoire. I work through it pretty quickly, so...
Yeah. I need to knit faster.
Okay.
Knit fast! Die warm!
You're gonna be a knitting thug?
I'll get the knit pearl tattoos on my knuckles.
Oh, I don't understand that, and I'm tattooed. Over half of my back's tattooed. I have spent hours in the chair, and I'm working with a tattoo artist to spend yet more hours in a chair. And I'm contemplating half a sleeve. And I don't understand the knit pearl tattoo on the knuckles. I don't get it.
Or maybe you could get knit life.
Nope.
No?
No, I don't understand tattooing on the fingers. I don't get it.
But you can do like the punchy maneuver and like, yeah!
I'm not that BA enough. I'm not. I'm just not.
Fine.
I'm too...
You're no fun.
I am no fun. Maybe I'll tattoo a ring on my finger, maybe, but that'd be about it.
You could get like a little yarn ball on the back of your hand and have it wind around a finger.
Maybe.
That'd actually be kind of cute.
Yeah. That's
Maybe I'll
something
do that.
tasteful that works for me, I think. But yeah, no, the knitting life has not chosen me. I'm quite content just being a knitter. Who happens to have tattoos. It's fine. But I think that's it for Yarn on the Go.
I believe that is.
Oh, goodness, what's next?
We're on to wool gathering.
Where I think too much and do too much with wool?
Well, yes. We also gather wool. Like, literally gather wool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
As you sit there with your pile of wool.
I do. Shall I go first, or would you like to go first?
I wouldn't mind going first because I have a thing that I forgot to mention that I got at the Fibre Festival.
Oh my goodness, yes, please go first.
This is my guilty face.
And your guilty voice. Holy Hannah.
I'm also doing the anime pointy finger touching
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I may have gotten you hooked on Fairy Tail.
I'm on an anime kick right now. Anyway, so I forgot to mention this thing when we did our big Manitoba Fibre Festival rundown because I was already using it, so it wasn't sitting there next to me. I got a project bag from Dragon Fiber Bags, who's a local maker, artist. What's the word I'm looking for? Artist? Artist? Okay. Anyway, she makes these fantastic project bags out of delightfully nerdy fabric. So I have a Curse Your Sudden But Inevitable Betrayal, like sock-sized project bag. So great. I love it. And she lined it.
Almost got a project bag from them. I was very tempted.
Oh, was that the Screw You one?
Yes, the one with the little U on there and the little screw beside the So
yeah,
it was
the little
Screw
sheeps and
You.
the little screws.
Yeah,
it was a Screw You, and it was so cute.
I was tempted. I didn't do it because I ended up going with more fiber, but
I was also very tempted by that one, but I'm like, oh, I only really need one bag.
no, you need more than one.
Well, yeah, I probably should have got the Screw You bag in retrospect. Anyway, so I wanted to add that. Another thing that I got slightly incorrect about the Manitoba Fibre Festival, I said that I got stitch markers, fancy beaded stitch markers, for using with my wedding shawl.
Yes.
Which are now on there, by the way, and oh my goodness, my shawl is so fancy, and when the light's finally good again, I'm going to take so many pictures of it because it looks so fancy with the stitch markers on there.
Alright.
So I bought them at the Dye For You booth, but the maker of said stitch markers is actually String Bling. Beautiful markers for your exquisite creations.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the clarification.
So, clarify that.
Totally done.
Friends of Dye For You.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
They are
okay.
very pretty stitch markers. Holy Hannah.
So happy.
I don't blame you. I have finally been getting back into my YouTubers. And I have found a new person for Diana. And by person, I mean persons.
Persons? Plural
Yes.
persons?
Plural persons. 3 friends out of Canada in the Ontario region. So we're hopscotching to the east side of the country this time.
Still pretty middly.
Yeah, that's fair. Lochbriar Knits is out in the east. But the ladies that I've just started watching are Fibre Friends. They're a delightfully hot mess, which I love. I love it when you've got that kind of relationship with their sisters or friends where you can, like, talk over each other and correct each other and make fun of each other and covet each other's yarn quite openly and try to talk each other out of the yarn that's been sent to them because it's the wrong color. It's clearly their color, not, not the color. Yeah.
Right.
So, an absolute delight of 3 ladies to watch. They are so much fun. So much fun. You would appreciate their like of deadlines, which is non-existent.
Perfect. I love a lack of deadlines.
Yep. They are a wonderful trio of ladies, so I am so happy to have found them, so I hope you guys get a chance to watch them too. It's right up there with like WTF Knitting and the Grocery Girls and, you know, Cozy Up with Stitch and Sisters. They're all just sort of, they're fun, and you can see the enjoyment that they get from knitting and from each other's company, and that's just really the best part.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's my wool gathering, is I found a new YouTuber for Diana to try to stay up to date on.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Yep, I know.
Especially if it's YouTube one. I don't have time for video podcasts very often.
It's hard. It's a lot easier with the audio podcasts.
Yeah, audio ones I have no trouble keeping up with because I can do those everywhere and anywhere. And audio or video ones, I have to. There are specific times for audio ones. I cannot possibly keep up.
Yeah.
I have one more wool gathering.
Sure, absolutely.
So somebody I follow on Instagram,
Okay.
Gamer Crafting.
Oh, right. I saw that post.
Yes, I believe she is a UK dyer in England, I think.
Yes. She's UK for sure.
Anyway, she's having a sale right now that I thought people would like to know about. I believe it's on till Sunday, so if we get our podcast out on the usual Saturday,
Yeah.
people will have a
day.
little bit of time. But yeah, so she's got fantastic colors and names them after nerdy things like Adventure Time and Harry Potter and Pokemon.
We might have to do an order together and split the shipping.
Possibly.
I think that might have to happen.
So, yeah. Gamer Crafting.
Absolutely.
Oh.
They're delightful. I like her colorways, even if you don't always get the gaming references, which I think is totally fair. Not everybody's a gamer.
Or TV nerd or whatever.
You know, it's not for everybody.
But the colors are pretty.
You can enjoy the colors, which is really, in the end, the point.
Most of the colors I like of hers are actually the Pokemon ones, except it's this, like, 7th gen Pokemon. I have no idea how many generations of Pokemon, but it's, like, all this new Pokemon, like...
I don't understand anything about Pokemon, because I'm just old enough I don't get it. My sister was into it, but I wasn't really into it, so I don't understand anything about Pokemon, but even I like the colors.
It's, we're, like, so many generations past what I know, but, like, I don't know what that Pokemon's name is, but I love those colors.
Pretty much. Why not?
So.
I do that sort of thing all the time. It's like, I'm not cool enough to understand this. I don't care. I like the color. It's lost on me, and that's fine. I don't mind. But no, that's good.
5-year-old nephew already knows more about Pokemon than I do.
Oh, man.
I was into Pokemon for years. I was into Pokemon for more years than you've been alive, child.
Yep.
And you're out Pokemoning me, like, honestly out Pokemoning me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You not spend enough time around small people? They out adults on many things in life. My niece currently reads more in a week than I do.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You read a lot.
I read for a living.
Doesn't that kid go to school? Like, how does she have so much time?
I don't know, but she's currently finishing books at a faster rate than I am. Not by much, mind you, because if we took a look at the technical reading and writing I do, I'd have her beat, but I'm not counting my solid technical writing and reading. I can sort of compare that to her schoolwork. But in sort of the fiction categories where we're reading it and I write reviews because I enjoy reading and writing reviews, and she's reading because she enjoys the books, she's whomping my butt right now.
Wow.
Whomping my butt. I'm going to change that this month. So many audiobooks.
All of the books.
All the books.
All the books.
Yeah, she was, oh, I already finished that. Oh, my word. Okay, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Children's Book Hospital sale. We're going.
Oh, yeah, that starts tomorrow, doesn't it?
Is it tomorrow?
Thursday, I think, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Forgot about that.
I'm gonna miss this one, because, yeah. Well, I suppose I could go tomorrow night, but I don't know where I'd put more books. I still haven't read the books from, like, 2 sales ago.
I have 2 books left to finish reading. They're the nonfiction ones. I like to read. It's a thing.
Not enough time in the day. I need, like, 4 more hours in the day where I can just do hobbies.
Sure.
This pesky work thing that I have to go to in order to pay the bills.
I don't know.
Grrr. Events. Events.
Events?
Events.
Well, that sounds very either ominous or announcery, one of the two.
And now, events. I can't go deep enough. I was trying to go for the movie thing, and it wasn't happening.
That's okay. I know where you
can't
were
do it.
trying. That's the important thing.
I
What do we got coming up?
Could go adorable anime.
Adorable
Events! So, things that we have that are coming up.
Sure.
You're doing the Stephen West Speckle and Pop.
I am doing the Stephen West Speckle and Pop Mystery Knit Along. Starts on Friday.
I'm actually pretty jealous.
Until
But I'm
you
not gonna
realize
do
my
it.
knitting schedule.
Yeah. When I actually think about the logistics of doing it, I'm really glad that I'm not, but I'm still really jealous and coveting your yarn.
That's totally fair. I'm still covered in your Strickmick yarn, and I didn't
My
get
yarn.
those this year, and it's yours.
Yeah. So that's happening. And then C4 is happening.
Mm-hmm.
That is Central Canada Comic Con, the end of this month, October 27th through 29th.
Next month. We're not out of September yet.
What? Oh, yeah, sorry.
We're out of September at the end of the week.
The end of next... I was in October mode already.
Yep, that's totally fair, because we're in October as of Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to have our Wonder Woman wraps done in time for that.
Absolutely.
That Saturday in there is the Pride and Prejudice Ball, which is utterly unrelated to Central Canada Comic Con.
It is. But we're taking dance lessons, and I'm making us costumes.
Yes. So we'll get all dressed up all Regency era fancy a la Jane Austen.
And go to a ball.
And go to an actual proper ball.
Isn't that exciting?
I'm really excited.
So pumped.
And then that just leaves the... Oh, no, sorry, there's two more things. There's the Grinch Along that we're doing along with the Knitmore girls.
Yep, they host. I'm going to participate this year like I did last year. It was an amazing thing. So, yep, doing it.
This is where, as of December 1st, you no longer knit presents for this coming up Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You do things that make you happy, like
Absolutely.
baking, or knitting for other things, or knitting for yourself.
Yep.
And they have a whole contest thing going on with that. We don't have a contest thing. We're just
participating in theirs.
yes.
Because fun.
Yes. I wanted to do it last year and I didn't, and no, I'm doing it this year.
Okay.
And then we have a thing. We're actually doing a thing.
We're doing a thing.
We are doing the Year of the Sock in 2018.
Yep.
And that is all your idea, so why didn't you explain that
All
one?
my idea. You mean all my going off the deep end?
Yep.
There are so many groups, contests, entry prizes, dyers who focus on socks. It is an amazingly huge chunk of the knitting community, as it should be. I don't know how to knit socks, so next year is going to be the year of the sock. I'm going to spend all year learning to make socks. I'm going to make a pair of socks every month. The girls in the knit club are super stoked. Most of them are joining me for this, so
I'm
if
on
you
board
guys
for
want,
socks.
if you guys want to jump in with this is great. It's going to be whatever type of socks you do. If you're an experienced sock knitter, challenge yourself. Make something different. If you're a new sock knitter, come with me. Let's learn some vanilla toe-up socks. Let's do this. So
I'm excited to try out all sorts of different heels.
Oh yeah, I'm currently collecting a metric ton, and that is the actual correct measurement, of links, groups, threads, places to dye yarn, to get dyed yarn from, and I'm currently making a massive Google Doc for the knitting group. So if there's enough interest, and if you guys are interested in it, let us know in the thread on the Ravelry group under the episode here, and I will make it a public thread so everybody can find the links and go join these things. What I think we might do is if you participate every month, I think we should do a prize at the end of the year.
We definitely should.
Yeah. So we'll continue working and getting that set up and doing the logistics, but that's what I'm going to be working on.
I like it. I would like to add to your Google Doc
Absolutely.
lists of different kinds of toes and heels one can do.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you can do a vanilla sock, but there's like 4 different toe ways of doing the toe bit.
Yes.
And like 24 different ways of doing the heel.
Easily. I certainly can't list them all. As I yawn, so it's clearly after 9 o'clock. I certainly can't list them all, but we can certainly start a thread with links for people to go to help get everybody set up.
I'm super excited. I will make the pledge that every pair of socks I make next year will have a different heel.
Sure. I'm going to learn how to make socks.
I'm going to learn all the different heels.
So I think that's a good way to challenge and expand our goal set and our skill and knitting set. So I want to be comfortable enough doing socks that I could approach a pair of knee highs. It's really, like, my ultimate goal is December. I'm making myself knee high socks.
Nice.
So I think that's a very achievable goal because I've spent the previous 11 months making socks.
You'll be all over those socks.
Theoretically. Do we have anything else coming up this year, or is that it?
That is it.
Ooh. All right. To wrap up events, we've been discussing doing a knit-along and hosting. There were some great ideas for sock advent things. Super cool. Maybe for the last project for next year, because it's going to be 2018's Year of the Sock.
Yeah.
But I think our very first knit-along is going to be designer-themed, so we'll pick a designer. And we will primarily run it from January to about March for our podcast anniversary.
I like it.
We'll accept whips because deadlines are
Meh.
neither here nor there for most of us. And what we'll do is we'll do it in a Ravelry thread. And obviously we'll work it so if it's a finished object you'd get 2 entries. If it's a work in progress by the end of it you'd get 1 entry.
Okay, so I'm only going to get 1 entry into our own contest.
Well, we can't enter into our own contest.
What?
That's not fair.
Lame.
That's not how that works. So, the only real things we have left to do is sort of pick a designer that does things that we both enjoy and has enough variety that everybody could pick something. Because not everybody knits shawls, not everybody knits sweaters, not everybody does hats, not everybody does gloves or mittens. So, picking a designer that's got a little bit of everything will allow us to pick a project we're excited about, which I really like the idea of. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I need to start collecting stuff for prizes and that. So that's my next step, and narrowing down a designer. So come January the 1st, watch on the Ravelry threads, because I will post something New Year's Day, because I will not have imbued too much adult spirits, because I don't drink. And I also get up really early, because my favorite type of New Year's is one where I'm in bed by 11 and gone to sleep.
If I may reiterate, you're weird.
My mom does an amazing surf and turf dinner on the 1st.
True.
I like being well rested so that I can eat a copiously large amount of really well-made food.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I like having enough energy to hang out and spend time with my family and not feel stressed or dehydrated or tired, or I don't like any of that nonsense. So I will just go to bed on time. If I stay up late, I'll be saying Happy New Year to my mom. Because she doesn't go to bed till after midnight anyway. My dad will already be in bed, because Dad goes to bed at 10 o'clock.
My goodness, your whole family.
Yeah, we're all weird. So there's that. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. There's not going to be much more in the way of decisions made until after my sister gets married in October, early October. So I'm really not going to be looking at sort of nailing down a designer or any other sort of details till probably after November the 3rd, because it goes my sister's wedding, C4, then my parents' anniversary, and my niece's birthday. So
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff in a short period of time. So I think mid-November I'll start looking at different designers and try to figure out a short list for us to look at and review in December, and get them up early enough so that people can take time to pick a pattern, so they don't have to be like, I gotta pick something. You got a couple of weeks to do it, like ideally the last couple of weeks in December, to just sort of, it's post-Christmas, everything's starting to wind down, you can start taking a look at doing stuff for the new year. So I think that's going to be our best bet.
Alright.
And we can celebrate our 1-year podcast anniversary that way.
I'll probably throw up some dedicated threads for those in the Ravelry group.
Absolutely. I think for sure we're going to have some dedicated threads, which will be awesome. So spread the word, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors. Tell everybody you know who knits, doesn't knit, wants to knit, thinking about knitting. Stands too long next beside you on the bus. Just creep people out. Let's see how big we can make this. Obviously, the more people we have, the more prizes I'll track down.
Alright.
I'm good at doing that part. So, well, we'll do from there. But that's going to be our last sort of event thing for a bit. Until I find more stuff.
Until we find more stuff. I'm sure we'll find more stuff.
I will find more stuff.
There will be more stuff.
Absolutely. But that leaves us with just our review.
In fact, it does.
Oh, my goodness. What book are we reviewing this week?
We have another library book. Modern Top-Down Knitting. Sweaters, Dresses, Skirts, and Accessories, inspired by the techniques of Barbara G. Walker. And this is written by Christina McGowan.
I like books.
Doesn't everybody?
This is the part where I want to sing I like big books and I cannot one. That's showing my age right there. Ha ha! No?
I find that way funnier than I should.
It's late. You've had too much sugar.
Yeah. Everything's really funny.
I got this because it had been recommended to me as something that I should read for basic and designing tips for construction for sweaters and sort of breaking down the process in the top-down sweater format, which I'm very intrigued in. So I picked that one up to read, and I passed it along to Diana because I thought she would enjoy reading it and reviewing it as well.
I did. I enjoyed it so much, I actually finished my review 2 days before we podcasted, instead of 2 minutes before.
That's a rarity for you. You're usually trying to get your review in once I'm already here knitting and waiting for you.
Yeah.
On the bright side, that would be our video feed. You always get that fast forward with the music playing in the background. It would be me talking and knitting and you desperately trying to get your review written.
Some yakety sax going.
Yep, pretty much. So,
sounds about right.
This book is a chunk of writing and a chunk of patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to talk about the writing first, since it's the first half of the book?
Yes.
Okay.
I think, well, the writing is really the important part of this book.
It is the important part of this book. The patterns are wonderful. We'll certainly go over those, but I think we should start with the writing.
So I was really excited by all the stuff about finishing. Just things like put a row of single crochet instead of some ribbing if you don't feel like doing the ribbing.
Yep.
And then it'll lie flat, like, genius.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
especially if you're like me and you hate ribbing. My brain just went, oh my god, yes.
Or what I really, really liked was sewing in, give very detailed instructions for how to sew in like a ribbon or something on the inside hem of stuff to keep it from curling and give it some structure, and like, that's so smart, and then it looks just so extra fancy, and like, it's this little thing, and it just adds like 10 times fancy points.
10 times fancy points?
10 times fancy
Well,
points.
that's a lot of fancy points.
I know.
I loved how they broke it down, so it wasn't such an overwhelming thing. Like, you look at a sweater making on a whole, and your brain goes, oh my.
Yeah, there are not many small projects in this book either. It's like, here's a coat! But by the time you get to that project, you've already read all the stuff. It's like, oh, this is this bit and that bit.
Yeah, and it helps you break it down, so it doesn't seem so overwhelming or huge. You're just like, sure, it's just a bunch of little things. I want to do the little things. It's fine. No biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I super, super enjoy, and I highly, especially for these sorts of books, read the words first.
The words were helpful.
Which I believe is what I told Diana when she took it. I said, read it first, then look at the patterns. You will find it so easy to understand what they're telling you in the second half of the book.
I understand what, like, short row sleeve caps are now.
Mm-hmm. Nah, no, it's, in my mind, it's one of those shelf-stable books.
Yes.
You can have it in your collection, and you will go back to it, because if we're honest with ourselves, we will not remember everything we've ever read.
Oh, no, goodness. Of course not.
So it is on my Amazon wish list.
I'd also like to say this book feels high quality. Like, the pages are thick, and it's hardcover, and it has that high quality book smell.
Yes. It does not look like somebody ran down to the local Staples and got it printed and bound it into a book. It looks like a really well-published book.
It's like, it would look good on a shelf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only reason I didn't purchase a physical copy for myself is because due to family regulations, there's a moratorium on purchasing items that are affordable for all family members until from the about 15th of September through to, in my case, my birthday, which is in March. So small items that, say, my aunts or my uncles could get or my niece could save up and buy, I'm not supposed to purchase.
Right, so that they have something to buy you for presents.
Bingo. Because I don't have I'm in my 30s. What do I honestly need a lot of anymore?
Books.
Not so much. Books, skeins of yarn, little bits and pieces. So being able to go, here's a list, here's some things, here's some stuff, across several different platforms, different things, and then I stay away from purchasing things for myself outside of completing projects. Because as my mom phrases it, no one's going to buy me a book if it's not on my list, because I don't list my fiction books. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Nobody should have to keep pace with me in my fiction book buying collection. But my nonfiction stuff, yeah, absolutely. I don't buy as many nonfiction books. Yeah. So, but it's on my list. It will be on my shelf. If it is not purchased for me, I will be purchasing it shortly after my birthday.
If I ever get into designing stuff, I will also get a copy.
Oh, yeah. It's
Highly recommend if you're interested in designing stuff.
so interesting and chock full of helpful hints.
Yes.
That was the wordage I was looking for.
Chock full.
Chock full. It's a thing. It's
It just sounds so old.
I
Chock full.
am old. Can we be honest about this, guys? I am not a spring chicken.
I'm not old either.
No, I got many years before I get the old title, but not as many as I used to.
I should stop playing with my pen.
I can't help you with that. Was there anything else in the writing you liked? I loved the writing, the format. The font could have been bigger, but that's my common complaint with everything in my vision, so whatever. That's neither here nor there. I liked the layout.
The font was friendly.
The font was friendly. Yes.
Some tiny Hitchhiker's Guide reference there.
Yes. Which is fine.
It's in big friendly letters. Well, small friendly letters.
Small friendly. Well, I always want stuff to be printed bigger, so that's neither here nor there. Shall we talk about the patterns?
Let's talk about some patterns.
All
I wrote
right.
down page numbers this time.
Ooh, that seems wise. So did I.
I only wrote down 2 things though.
What? Only 2 things?
Everything is extremely well made and inspirational in terms of techniques and how they can be used.
Mm-hmm.
But as entire projects that I want to make, there were only 2 things.
Oh my. Well, I had more than 2. This is usually this one where Jocelyn always has more. That's our episode title.
The episode where Jocelyn does more stuff.
Always. The first thing I sort of looked at and thought that might be interesting was the pavement jacket. Page 43.
Page 43. La la la. Ah, yes, that one.
Mm-hmm.
This was the one that I really liked for the sleeve cap thing, because these sleeves look super good.
I'm in love with the sleeves. It's the sleeves that caught my eye, and I'm just like, I just want to make those sleeves.
I like the sleeves, or rather, I like the top half of the sleeves and the collar.
Okay.
The rest of it I feel very meh about, as a whole object.
It's just the sleeves I like.
But the sleeves and the collar, I would steal techniques to put on other things.
That's totally fair. It wasn't something I hearted, but I really did enjoy the sleeve construction, and I enjoyed the look of the sleeves, so I had to point that out. The thing that I really liked, the first item where I was like, I want to knit this. Are we ready? Are we all sitting?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Wrap It Up dress on page 69.
Page 69. Oh, yes, the wrap dress. Oops, as I flip past it. I don't know, something about knitted dresses and skirts just don't do it for me.
As a general rule, I'm not a massive fan, but I looked at that, and I would do it in a cotton.
Okay.
Because it's a bit of a shorter staple of fiber, so I get a little bit more strength, I guess, across it. Obviously with the ribbons in it to help with the support and structure. But I love me a wrap dress. Love a wrap dress.
Overall construction is good.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking, again, not for me, for my sister.
Okay.
Because she likes a heavier weighted fabric because she's cold all the time. If I'm warm all the time, she's cold all the time.
Yeah.
So something in a cotton that will help, it'll stay cooler, but it'll have a bit more weight for her, for when she's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And a wrap dress is just the most flattering type of dress for the most number of body types.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just super fascinating to me, or I would do it in something like a silk blend.
Ooh, that'd be very drapey.
Yeah. I would totally do a silk one for myself. So it's just, yep, it's nice, it's iconic, it's classic, doable. I mean, I don't want to knit it right this instant, but I definitely enjoyed the pattern and the construction. I would enjoy making that, I think.
I like the texture of this thing. I don't know what it is. I didn't look at it. Woven rib, apparently, is what that texture's called.
Yes.
Anyway, moving right along.
Have we even hit any of the things you liked?
No, I'm not until page 81.
Oh, man. Well, then you can go next, because my next one's 87.
Okay, page 81 is... Are you ready for this?
Yep.
It's the word that I don't know how to pronounce wrap. I'll try to pronounce it. Keffiyeh?
Keffinich?
Keffieyeh.
Sure.
Yeah. It's Arabic.
Yep. It's a beautiful pattern.
It has 2 colors and many textures, and it goes around my neck. Therefore, I love it.
Beautiful pattern. I believe the words I used when I looked at it was strikingly beautiful. Because it just sorta...
It has all of the colors. Well, it only has 2 of the colors. But it just looks so pretty.
It'll be an amazing statement piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it in a solid and a speckle or something.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't blame
speckle.
you. I can't blame you in the slightest. It's a very pretty wrap. I don't need more.
I always need more.
I am well into the Stephen West camp on shawls, so I suspect that'll be a chunk of my life for the next little bit. I love his colors. Not all his color choices, but a lot of his color choices. I liked the mulberry hat on page 87.
Again, I like a lot of the techniques of this hat, but not overall.
I have never made a hat, and it's interesting, and I think I might enjoy constructing the hat. I'd never wear it, because I don't look good in those types of hats, but I think I would enjoy knitting it.
It's a cute hat.
Mm-hmm. Now...
Perhaps a certain niece would wear it.
Well, yeah, but a certain niece ran away with my Miss Diagonal rib shawl, and is calling it her blanket scarf, so... I lose things to that niece all the time.
Right.
The only thing that I have super hearted that I want to start right now, why am I not knitting it, is the Blueberry Cardigan. On page 111.
I looked very hard at that one, but I think it would not look good on me. Oh my goodness, why can't I find this thing? There we go. I think it would not look good on me, but I do like a great many things about it.
Oh, I think it would look amazing. Because I've got the height to pull that pattern off.
Yes, it is definitely a you thing.
Yeah, it is. And I'm just thinking, Wilsey Wool got in all of that nice sweater yarn.
Ooh.
It might have to happen, you guys. I have like 50 billion things on Ravelry that are all sweater related that I haven't even started yet.
Oh dear.
Yikes.
So many sweaters. All the sweaters. More sweaters.
I don't have a drawer. I don't have a closet full of sweaters. I don't have a drawer full of sweaters. I clearly have space.
Obviously.
For sweaters.
More sweaters.
More sweaters.
More sweaters.
Absolutely.
That's what you need. More sweaters.
I agree.
I have one more thing.
Absolutely, do it up.
The very last thing in the book, in fact, the knitted jewelry. I really like the rings. I was surprised by that. I mean, I like the bracelet too, but I really like the knitted ring. They're just super simple, but it's like really interesting.
I enjoy them. Like, I wouldn't enjoy knitting them or wear them, but they were really pretty to look at.
I think I might actually wear those.
Then knit them.
I have to find out where I can get that wire.
Okay.
To the internet.
To the internet.
To the internet.
Agreed.
So I might be knitting myself some jewelry, which is a phrase I never really considered saying.
Well, I never really thought I'd ever make myself a dress. So there's that. And I may still never make myself a dress, but that's got some nice constructed dresses in there.
Yes, it does.
That make it moderately tempting.
Oh, I lied. There is, in fact, one more dress after the knitted jewelry.
Yeah?
It's the Promenade Dress.
Okay.
Which is not one I wrote down, but it is a very cute, simple dress.
Mm-hmm. No, so I just, overall, yes. It's a book that should be on people's shelves.
Yes, for designery purposes, absolutely 100% this book.
Oh, yes. Even if it's just you want to have a repertoire of techniques in your belt, but you don't want to have to try to remember every single thing this side of last Tuesday. It's a good reference book.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So there you go. Overall, we enjoyed it. Ta-da!
Agreed. Do look.
Do look.
Do look.
Mm-hmm.
Words.
Words?
Late. Tired.
You do not sugar well.
No. No, I don't.
How are you going to survive adulthood?
With caffeine and regular bedtimes.
Well, I'm not sure how well that's actually going to work out for you. You like staying up late on the weekends.
Yeah, I haven't been doing that very much.
No?
No.
Giving up? Getting to old fogey status with me?
I haven't quite given it up.
No? Okay.
I stay up later, but not till like 3 in the morning like I used to.
Gosh, 3 in the morning is obscene.
I don't do 3 in the morning anymore. I do
That's
like midnight fairly regularly when
awful.
I normally go to bed at 11. So I'll do like midnight or 1, but I don't do 3 anymore.
Dear heavens. How do you do anything the next day if you stay up till 3?
Well, you get up at noon and do it again.
No. No, that would make Monday so mean.
Yes, it does. This is why people don't like Mondays.
Nope. Just go to bed on time.
You're weird.
Yes, I am. And I'm okay with my weirdness.
I've actually been dragging my sorry butt out of bed at 7 in the morning so I can get on the early bus.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks so much in the morning, but getting to leave work at 4 in the afternoon is pretty great.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
It is worth it. It's just really hard to convince myself of that first thing in the morning when it's still dark.
Worth it. Totally worth it.
I think I'm going to buy myself one of those sunrise alarm clocks.
Sure, why not? I have a sunrise alarm clock. It's called a 10-year-old who sleeps above me. She gets up and goes to school at 7 in the morning. Trust me, I know when she gets up in the morning. Thump, thump! Holy Hannah. If I'm not awake by then, I'm awake when she gets up, because we might be 10, but we hit 13 at about age 8. And we don't like getting up for nobody or nothing, so it's a fight most mornings.
Right.
Any people who have teenagers who don't like get out of bed in the mornings, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was me.
Yep. That wasn't really me. I was okay with the schedule. I wasn't overly fond of it, but I was okay with it. My sister was the same way, so it's when she complains, I'm like, because she's you. You had yourself in miniature form. What do you want me to tell you?
That's a terrifying thought. Okay, I can't ever have children because tiny me is a terrifying idea.
You might get a tiny Christopher.
That'd be alright.
So there you go.
Tiny him would be okay. Tiny me, no.
No?
Goodness, no. That would
No?
challenge all of my everything.
All of your everything?
I was a very stubborn child. Either me or the child would not survive. I could not handle a tiny me.
Oh, every once in a while I do text my mother, how did I make it through childhood? My mom's like with a wing and a prayer. I'm like, okay. Just checking on that one. Holy Hannah, you must have wanted to kill me at some point. She's like, no, but you definitely tried my patience. I'm like, well, it's totally fair.
I was a fine child by the time I was 5, so I don't really have too many memories, but my mom tells stories of my stubbornness and just stupid things that I did. Like, I apologize for weird things my 4-year-old self did, and I am very glad you persevered, because I am now a reasonable human being, but my goodness, I don't think I have the strength to do that.
Just remember you got it from somebody.
Anyway, I don't want to deal with a tiny me, is the moral of this conversation.
That's totally fair. I didn't either. I solved that problem. So, that wraps up our review, wraps up our podcast.
And it does.
We made it through another week.
Woo!
Yay!
So I pull up our outro here, which I'm going to shorten on the fly.
There's many things that we will eventually become professional about.
This is probably not one of them.
This is probably not one of them.
So how's that intro song coming?
Oh my god, I still haven't heard from the artist yet, so we're almost at our time frame where I'm going to get permission to use it. So we're creeping ever closer to having an intro song, which is perfect. I just got to get all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed and make sure we're all kosher.
Right.
And then we're good to go. Paperwork moves very slowly, peeps.
Yes, it does.
And I do a lot of it.
Paperwork is the worst.
All sorts of paperwork. In triplicate sometime.
Ooh.
Some days when people ask me to reiterate my name for the 50th time in a day, I get a little short-tempered.
It's alright. This week it took me 2 days to get access to a folder on a drive that I needed in order to do my job.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2 days.
Dear heavens.
When I can literally walk around the corner and go, hey, IT, I need access to this folder. Oh, there's a process.
Oh, my word. Oh, well. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find us on the internets?
You can find us on Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest as Northern Knits Podcast. Our blog with all our show notes is at northernknitspodcast.com. You can also email us at northernknitspodcast@gmail.com. Jocelyn, where can you be found on the internet?
I am concisely found on the interwebs as Amber Dragon, spelled Amber and then Bragun. I'm most active right now on Ravelry, Twitter, and my Facebook account.
All right.
There are a bazillion other places. I would take too long.
Some of them are linked in the show notes.
Yeah.
I can be found on Instagram and Twitch as Firewater and Fibre, spelled the American way, Fiber.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on Ravelry as Woolrat, which is wool-rat. I stream sometimes on Twitch, and I'm on Twitter as Artemis_134. And I stream sometimes on my other Twitch channel. All of this linked in the show notes.
Absolutely. Show note linkage to the extreme.
And that is that.
That's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. We might even have sponsors shortly. Oh, look at all
That'd
the
be
work
magical.
I'm doing. Isn't that weird?
Could have an actual microphone?
Maybe. I think that'll be the first thing we get.
An actual real microphone?
It's on the list of things I'd like to get for the podcast. Yeah. a real life functioning microphone.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy.
Won't we be professional then?
Won't we, though? Won't we just? However, until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
Saying no matter where your week takes you,
Don't forget to knit.
And we're done.
Yay, we didn't miss our cue this time.
Well, it's because we were together, and when I hear your voice, your mouth is also moving at the same time, instead of this half-minute disconnect we got on Skype the other week. Because I would hear you talking, but I would see you laughing from the laughing you had done previous to the talk. My poor brain was so confused.